Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala ashraf al-anbiya'i wal mursaleen. Wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'een. Amma ba'd. Last week we spoke on murakkab ghair mufid, non-beneficial sentences, and I gave you a breakdown of them. And then in between, or rather after it, I spoke on how important it is to break down a sentence. Yes, but I said recognize what is ism, what is fi'l, what is harf. And once you recognize that, then realize which one's amil and which one's ma'mul. Which word acts upon the other. The point of nahv is this, to figure out which is amil and which one's ma'mul. Which word does what kind of action and which type of word accepts the action. That's what it's all about. Yeah? So you know then what action to take, so that you can then recognize what is musnad and what is musnad ilay. What is musnad and what is musnad ilay. Meaning you recognize where the musnad is and where the musnad ilay is. Depending on where they are, you can then realize if it's jumla ismiya or jumla fi'liya. Yes? So that's the purpose behind it. And then ultimately to get the translation right. Not a lot of people know this. A lot of people think that just looking at the Arabic words and getting a dictionary and saying Alhamdulillah, Alhamdul means praise, Li means for, Allah means Allah, and yeah, it's fine, just translate it. No, you have to know, to really know the translation, you have to know what the musnad and the musnad ilay is. Once you've got that and you know that how to translate that, then everything else is extra. So it's very important as a translator as well to know what musnad and musnad ilay is, where they are in a sentence, so that you know how to translate it. Yes? So this goes out to all the translators out there. Quran translators, books translators. Yes? It's not a case that you just think that this is what it means. You don't have, as a translator, you don't have the authority to say, I think this is what it means. Yes? As a translator, what you do is you realize any language, you realize what the musnad is and what the musnad ilay is. Once you've done that, that musnad and musnad ilay cannot change. That musnad and musnad ilay cannot change. You keep that as it is and then translate it. Yes? So that's the point in this case. So, because he said that we need to know what ism is, what fi'l is, and what harf is. As for harf, you've already done that. Not harf, sorry. As for fi'l, you've already done that in your sarf. Yes? Well, parts of it. Okay? Parts of it. You only did sahih to what I remember. We never carried on from there. But at some point we finished that off as well. But at least know what ism is now. So the signs of ism. So we call these the alamat, or alama. Yes? It's in Persian, so alamat, okay? Of ism. Yes? Alamat ism. The first sign is that in the beginning of ism, there can be an alif lam. Yes? What we sometimes just say al. Yes? Like alhamdu. So now, really the word is hamdun. Alif lam comes on it, then it's alhamdu. So remember one thing, that if alif lam comes upon an ism, first thing it tells us it's an ism. And second thing it'll do is, that tanween at the end, it'll take that away. So without alif lam, it'll be hamdun. Hamdun. And with the alif lam, it is alhamdu. Okay? Oops. How do these tighten? That's tight. Let's tighten that. So remember that if alif lam comes in the beginning, then there will be no tanween at the end. Yes? You can't read alhamdun. Yes? Alhamdan, alhamdin. No, it'll be alhamdu, alhamda, alhamdi. Number 2 is, and you're going to do these later on, but just as a sign of ism, you know that before an ism a harf jar can come. Before an ism a harf jar can come. Harf jar is a particle, a harf, which gives a jar to the ism, end of the ism. Yes? Like bi zaydin. Bi zaydin. The B is a harf jar. Zaid, you could normally read zaydun, zaydan, zaydin, but you have to have a choice. You have to, something has to give it amal. So therefore B is a harf jar, it gives a jar. It gave the dal a tanween kasra. No alif lam on zayd is there. So it'll take a kasra. Number 3, at the end a tanween can appear. Yes? Like zaydun. Zaydun. So tanween is also a sign of ism. Tanween is also a sign of ism. Musnad ilay. Number 4 is musnad ilay. Like zaydun qa'imun. Remember we said before that ism can be musnad and musnad ilay. Yes? But a special thing with ism is that one of its signs is that it is musnad ilay, meaning fail cannot be musnad ilay and harf can never be musnad ilay. Fail is always musnad. We read it in the back that ism is musnad and musnad ilay can be, and fail is always musnad and can never be musnad ilay, and harf is neither musnad nor musnad ilay. So therefore it just rules that musnad ilay is specific to ism then, isn't it? So if you say this is a ism and it's musnad ilay, meaning it's mubtada, it is jumla ismiya and it's mubtada or jumla fi'liya for that regards, and you say it's musnad ilay and it's a fa'il. Yes? Then in this case it's definitely an ism. It is definitely a ism. Then you got mudaf. Remember murakkab izafi we did last week? Like gulamu zaydin. So here gulamu zaydin. Here the mudaf, this is the mudaf. The mudaf here is ism. Yes? That's the objection here, that why not mudaf ilay? Why not? That's the ism as well. The answer to it is that sometimes, not all the time, that sometimes a mudaf ilay becomes an ism. Yes? Like the word yawma idhin, yawma idhin is really yawma iza kana kaza. And that's a fail then, isn't it? But very rarely the mudaf ilay will be a fail. Yes? Will be a fail. Like we sometimes say yawma urija bi. It's in hadith. Yes? Yawma urija. So yawma urija. Yawma is mudaf and urija is fail majhul, isn't it? Fu'ila. So therefore is mudaf ilay. So in this case sometimes it does happen. So therefore that sometimes made us say that mudaf ilay is not specific to ism then, is it? The mudaf will always be ism. Mudaf. Number 6, I'll write as tasgheer. I wrote it wrong. Tasgheer is like Qurayshun. Qurayshun. Now here, tasgheer, it'll come later on somewhere, and it's a point where when you do tasgheer of something, tasgheer just gives that minute, small kind of meaning. Yes? Suhail, Suhail. Suhail will be the tasgheer of Sahil, if you like. Yes? Now, it just brings, if something is easy, then this is nice and literally easy. Okay? Kind of meaning. Gives it a small, it puts that small emphasis in it. Yes? That something is small. Yes?
Hassan and Hussein.
Hussein, yeah. So Hassan means beautiful, then the Hussein will mean that the one who is small and beautiful. Yes? So it gives it that, that's what we call tasgheer. Yes? If I remember correctly, kar was like a piranha. Yes? Like a fish. Well, that's what they describe it as a fish in the sea that eats everything. I could only think of a piranha. Yes? So then they do Quraysh. And it's small as well, isn't it? It's small. They're doing that size, aren't they? The small fishes. And they eat everything down to the bone. So that's why they named themselves Quraysh. Yes. The names here were for not for what they were doing. Yes. They're scare tactics, aren't they? Yes. They're scare tactics. So you give a name like that, Quraysh, then the person will then fish that eats everything. Yeah. Makes it look like that if they come for, they're just going to destroy us all, aren't they? In the desert. There was no fish. It's still scary, isn't it? We don't have crocodiles here. I'm scared of them. Eh? So that's the whole point of it. The way to make it is, or to recognize it, is that there will be a ya there, but before that ya there will be a fatha. Yes? And the previous letter to it will have a dhamma. Okay? Quraysh. Then you have mansoob with the sin. Like Baghdadiyun is the ya of association. Okay? The ya of association. Baghdadi, Bradfordi, Leeds after Leedswy with the wow. Okay? Leedswy, isn't it? Yes, Leedswy. Frising Holy. Yeah? Are you from Leeds Rodi? Yeah, Baghdadi. So you have that. Okay? Pakistani, Hindi, yes, Rusi. You can carry on all day. Qadri, Naqshbandi, Shazli, the ya at the end is all of nisbah, all of association. Okay? So if you have that Baghdadi, then it just means I'm linked to Baghdad. That's it. Okay? There has to be an actual link. You just don't go like to Syria and then come back and say I'm Shami. Yes? There has to be an actual reason, isn't there? That, you know, you don't just go there for 1 year and then come back and say Baghdadi, or say Shami, Damishki. Yes? There was a group of people once, they kept saying to Shaykh Muhammad that, are you Brelvi? Are you Deobandi? Yes? And they kept saying it constantly, kept just saying it. And he turned around and said to them that, I'm neither Brelvi, I'm neither Deobandi, I'm Dimishki. And he's looking at him, what's that? And he said, I'm born in Damascus, so I'm Dimishki. Yes. So anyway, so that's that, Baghdadi. So remember, Ya of association. Yes. Some people put Bandialvi at the end of my name. Yes. So that nisba will come through Ata Muhammad bin Dialvi. So that's a study lineage. Yes. Some people might put Rizvi at the end of my name as well, and that's a study lineage as well. Then there might be Shazli, and that's a spiritual lineage. Yes. Some people might put Dadialvi at the end of my name. My uncle puts it at the end of his name. Like that, then I have a lot of associations. Yeah. I mean, I've lived in Dadial. My parents both from Dadial. So Dadialvi. But then they moved to jail me. Yes. Recently I've been living in Dina. Yes. So Dini or Dinvi. Dinvi. So I mean, how many associations are we gonna have?
So,
yeah.
You're right. Shaykhul Allama and
Just try to keep going.
The post of the name of the district.
I seen a wedding card once, and it was from a group of scholars, and it seemed like a poster to me. Yes. And I read all their names, all the scholars that were on it. I read their names, and I asked a question at the end that because my mom told me that it's a wedding invitation, and I asked who's getting married. Guess what? They put all the scholars' names on, and they forgot to mention the group. Apparently, he didn't have the qualifications worthy of being mentioned. One thing as well, just on that, we have this habit of exaggerating titles. Yes, we call it every Tom, Dick, and Harry Alama, and it's a majority problem within in Indian Pakistani culture. Pakistanis don't have it that much. Yes, Pakistan is just Alama, that's it. Yes, but a lot of Indian ulama have that. Yeah? They have massive titles for their shuyukh. It's their culture, so we leave it to them. But sometimes those titles, if they do it out of love for them, then that's bound to them. Don't expect others to believe it the way you say it. Yes. So if somebody is called Muhaddis-e-Azam, yes, and that might be your love. For example, if I look, for example, of Pakistan, we have, say, Muhaddis-e-Azam Pakistan, right? So that'll be our love for him. But would I expect him to be Muhaddis-e-Azam for everybody else? No, I can't do that. Yes. And if somebody says to me that no, this scholar was greater than him, alhamdulillah. Yes. Does it make any difference to us? No, because we benefit from all of them, doesn't it? Titles don't mean anything. Yes. What am I going to get out of making one scholar greater than the other? Yes. So the point is that it's alhamdulillah. Yes. Just my love for this scholar that I said is Muhaddis-e-Azam. Yes. So there's nothing wrong. What I'm saying is that don't give that title and then start believing it so that you start imposing on others. Yes. That if somebody says, and sometimes people do that for Imam Ahmad Rida Khan, and they use the word Mujaddid-e-Azam, and a lot of other people use it for other shuyukh as well. But then they start imposing it on others. You can't do that. Yes. I mean, if we're going to get into that debate that was Imam Ahmad Rida Khan Mujaddid-e-Azam, yes, then you're just kicking up dust for no reason. Yes, there's no point. So sometimes when it comes to titles, we have to be a bit, down to earth. Yes.
You know the term Mujaddid, is that specifically for one person in an area, or is it one person for the entire world at that time?
The tahqiq on it is that there'll be one overall Mujaddid,
Yeah.
but then there will be a case of also that it's a lot of other Mujaddideen can be within the same time.
Yeah.
Yes, to their specific areas.
Like, I don't know how to explain it, but at one time in one area, like 10 came out of nowhere.
That can be 20, 30, 40, 50, whatever. Yes, that can be. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. For example, for what is modern day Pakistan now, that area, we accept Pir Meher Ali Shah to be the Mujaddid. And there's nothing wrong with that. Now some people will make a clash that Imam Ahmad Rida Khan was a Mujaddid at that time. So how is he? No clash. What's the clash? Yes?
Yeah.
And then there's this always race to be the first one to do something. Yes? That is another thing where scholars are just, I want to be the first one, I want to be the first one. Yes? But remember, haste is from shaitan. Yes? Simple. Don't be the first one. I made a mistake in a meeting the other day. It was like a think tank meeting, and I don't attend these kind of meetings because all they're about is eating and getting your pay packet at the end. That's what all these meetings always be about. So you have different organization names. They will always call the same scholars to those different organizations. Yeah, and all they do is talk about whatever and just chit chat and then eat food and then wait for the pay packet for the main guy to come and just shake hands with them. And they never achieve anything. And then the next year the same thing happens all over again. So anyway,
It wasn't this past Wednesday, was it? With the royal visit?
yes, no, not even that. It was on Thursday though. It was the day. So what happened was that I ended in this meeting and the main person was just constantly looking at me. So he's looking at me and I made the mistake of going first. So he spoke and he said, put your thing forward. So I spoke first. And after that, all hell broke loose. Because he asked a question and I said, if you're going to do this, you just become the new president of this organization. Yes? Then say goodbye to the presidency. And I started off with that. And after he said to me, this is why you should never go first. I'll go, yeah, but those guys were talking about what they've done in the 60s and 70s. Yes? And I'm the only young one there. I go, what do you expect me to do then? They're telling me something what happened in the 60s and 70s. I wasn't even born. Yes? So how am I supposed to keep up with them? Yes? If I'm going to bring something through, I'm going to bring it through with what I know. Now they're going to bring up something, but we can't do this because when we had a meeting in the 70s, this is what was said. What am I supposed to do with that? So yeah, never go first. Moon sighting was, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then I was so shocked to hear as well that ulama are scared of committee members. Yes? Seriously? And they were telling me that about meetings from 98, 2000 and places like that, times like that. And I had to just butt in and said, ulama are scared of committee members. Yes? Now, they're telling me that these elders are telling me that ulama have made a consensus, whatever it is, leave it up to them. They made a consensus on a formula of how to moonsight. Yes? And all the different sects have agreed. Yes? But then when they invited the committee members, they disagreed. So the committee members broke the consensus of the ulama. I mean, subhanallah, innit? Yes? So the ulama decided to do something and that gets broken by committee members that don't know anything about the religion. And you chose to side with the committee members.
It's common though, isn't it? Nearly every other masjid.
I mean, times have changed. I don't think if these people feel that the ball is in their court, they don't know. There's TV channels now. There's about 13, 14 different organizations that are moonsighting and they announce it separately.
Yeah.
Yes? No one could care less about an organization now. Because the truth is, everyone knows that there's not one governing body anymore. Simple. So, is it something that you can have in the UK to have one Eid? You can't have one Eid in the world. You can't have one Eid in Saudi. Yeah, believe me, you can't have one Eid in Saudi as well. Do tahqiq of that. Yes? And ask yourselves that if the northern Saudis do Eid with the rest of Saudi. Yes? Ask yourself, you have to research it and then you'll find out. Yes? So it just, sometimes you get processed with fake news. Yes? So the point there is, never go first in a meeting and make sure you associate yourself properly. Another one is that, I'll do two this time, that ism is musanna. Ism is musanna. I write tasniya because you know what tasniya is. Actually, musanna would be a better name for it because you get confused. Tasniya. Tasniya is musanna. I write both of them for you. musanna. I'll put tasniya in brackets so you just know. And then you have number 9, which is jama. You know what jama is, but we call it majmu' here. Yes? Here, rajulani and majmu' would be rijalun. Okay? So, it is a ism that is dual and the ism is plural. Ism is dual and ism is, isn't there objection on that? Uh-huh.
How can it be both?
No, not one word, but like you got rajulani, that means two men. Rijalu means men, many men. Yes? So ism can be either dual or plural. Can be either dual or plural. Yes? So if you write rajulani, then it means two men. If you write rijalun, it means many men. Yes? But the question here is that you said it's a sign. It is a sign of ism. We'll show you that tasniya and jama are found in other than ism. Daraba, daraba, darabu. What siga is it? Tasniya muzakkar ghaib and jama muzakkar ghaib. Remember the gardans? Fa'ala, fa'ala, fa'alu, fa'ala, fa'alu. Yes? Or yadribu, yadribani, yadribuna. So they tasniya and jama as well, aren't they? But what are they? Fail mazi and fail mudari. So therefore, how can you say it's a sign? The answer to that is simple. The verb is always single. Yes? That's a dad, ra and ba. And it's really the pronoun which is dual and plural. That's the alif, daraba, yadribani, and also the waw, darabu, yadribu. Yes? Do you understand that? The next one is mawsoof. Yes? Number 10 is mawsoof. We did it murakkab tawsifi, mawsoof and sifa. Then remember that the mawsoof will always be an ism. The sifat can be sentence as well. Yes? But the mawsoof will always be because you can only attribute what? An essence. Can't you? Can you attribute a verb? No. So you can only attribute a thing, something. Yes? So it has to be a zat, an essence. Yes? So therefore, by default then, isn't it? The mawsoof is always an essence. Like rajulun alimun. Ja'a rajulun alimun. The man who is an alim came. The next one is the ta mutaharrik. Ta mutaharrik comes at the end of it. That's a ta marbuta. Yes? So number, this is the last one. So ta, oops. Taharik, like daribatun. Daribatun. That ta at the end, the ta that turns into a ha, that is specific to ism. That is specific to ism. Have you got that? Yes? All of you? Yeah, shall we do fail now? So the alamat fi'l, the signs of fi'l. Here you have that in the beginning, the fi'l can have a qad. Okay? Like qad daraba. Remember mazi qareeb? Remember that? It's that. Or it might have a sin in the starting. Sayadribu. I got it wrong. It means soon. Yes? Sin means soon. Future, yeah. And then sofa. Sofa, similar. There is a slight difference between them.
It seems like near future and so far is
Or far, yeah.
future.
But sometimes goes the other way around as well. Yeah? Sofa ta'lamun. Yes? Soon you'll find out. Yes. I mean, taqi. Therija, taqi. Just imagine translating the Quran into Mirpuri. Eh? I mean, what is translating to Urdu, but what about Mirpuri? Patwari?
That would be interesting.
Especially when Allah is cursing.
I think it's a job for the saint of Kari Sharif. Yeah? What was his name?
18 plus only readers.
From Kari Sharif? Mia Muhammad Baksh. Yeah. You know the Saif Muluk, the Saif Muluk that they recite is meant to be like in localized language, isn't it? Maybe it's just me, but we know, like, obviously when people speak, and elders speak Punjab, Mirpuri, you can understand it, but maybe just the way they recite it, but it sometimes goes over my head. I have no idea what they recite. Yeah? When I pick up the book, yeah, alhamdulillah, I know what that means. When they're reading it, the way they read it, I think it's just like, maybe just the way they recite it. Yeah. Tajweed. I think there's no tajweed in that. I think it's more about the power in that, isn't it? Yes? How much of your lungs you can bring out. Yes? Number 4 is huruf jazma, harf jazm. Yeah? Lam, lamma, lam nahi, lam amr in shartiya. Yes? So huruf harf jazm. You've done this in Nahv, by the way. So, like lam yadrib. Lam yadrib, lamma yadrib, li yadrib, la yadrib, and in yadrib. That's all of them. Then you've got zamir marfu muttasil. Under the damair, we will do the pronouns, we will do later on. But just as a note, the zamir marfu muttasil will join with it. Yes? Joins with it. Now you can read this in many ways. So it can be darab, ta, ti, tu. They're all zamirs. So if you read mazi kardan, daraba, daraba, darabu, darabat, darabata, darabna, darabta, darabtuma, darabtum, darabti. Yes? Darabtuma, darabtunna, darabtu. So those 3 can be any one. Just an example, but just to show you the zamir marfu muttasil. That means if you say darabtu, it means I hit. So the I is the pronoun and it's the musnad ilay. It becomes the fa'il of the darabat, darabtu, sorry. Yes? Same thing with the ta, same thing with the ti. The ta will mean you as a male and the ti will mean you as a female. Then you have the ta sakin, the big ta sakin. This only comes upon fail like dara, but. That ta. Daraba, daraba, darabu, dara, But. And then you have the fail is amr, like idrib, and fail is also nahi, like la tadrib. La tadrib. These were the signs of fail. Okay. Now the signs of harf. The signs of harf are simple. If you don't find a sign of ism or a sign of fail, then it's a harf. There you go. Simple. Anything but them is a harf. Yes? So I'll leave you to learn them. So on this subject from next week, we're going to be studying Mu'rab and Mabni. Mu'rab and, so that's crucial to understand what Mu'rab is and what Mabni is. Now when I say what is it, you have to know if it's a fail or a ism or a harf. No questions asked, other than that one. Right, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Ihdina as-sirat al-mustaqim. Is that what we got? Or is it before that? Did we do Iyaka na'budu? No, we're on that way. Iyaka na'budu wa Iyaka nasta'in. So have a look at the breakdown of this first. Iyaka na'budu. Iyaka is a pronoun. When we do our nahv, you will realize all the whole types of pronoun. But just to give you a small breakdown on it, since it's kum. Yes? I know I changed the format slightly. Remember we said we're going to go with whatever comes in the Quran, and then I decided to give you a bit of a structure. Okay? So, but I will do both. Okay? So here, we'll do it informally here and formally in that. So informally, what the zamirs are? Zamirs are pronouns. Yes? Zamirs are pronouns which they refer to something. Yes? And just like in sarf, you read that they have siga, the pronouns have siga as well. But the zamirs are split into 5 categories. How many? 5 categories. Originally there are 3, because the i'rabs are 3. The i'rabs are 3. Marfu, mansoob and majroor. Then each one is split. When I say each one, be careful here. Each one is split into 2, muttasil and munfasil. Yes, we'll do this properly later on. You don't need to just get into your head a bit. So marfu, muttasil and munfasil. Muttasil means a zamir that's joined to its amil. They come together. And munfasil means separated. Yes, so they don't come joined together. So you have zamir marfu muttasil, zamir marfu munfasil, zamir mansoob muttasil, zamir mansoob munfasil. Then you have majroor left in it. Majroor doesn't have a munfasil. It only has it's a parasite, isn't it? Yes? Huruf are parasites. Yes? So the only thing that gives a jar is the harf jar, isn't it? Yes? So therefore this one has to always be muttasil. Yes? It's a bit of a parasite. Jar, the stay of jar is low, isn't it? So it clings on to what's higher. Yes? So that's that logic behind it as well, by the way. That kind of logic. Jar, you know what jar? Jar means to pull, isn't it? Pull downwards. Yes? So it's low. So that's why it always clings on to something. Yes? Nasab means to be firm. Yes? So that's why your fatha is always firm. Yes? Easy to say. And then the rafa is high. And sometimes trying to reach a rafa is hard, isn't it? Because you have to curl your lips. Yes? So you have that logic. Yeah? So there's a logic behind why these things have been named with their words. Yes? So if you go into that, then you can learn a lot as well. Okay? That's a different science. If you want to ever learn, for those of you that read Arabic, if you ever want to learn, study something like that, then read Nahwul Qulub, Nahv of the heart. Okay? It's in the subject of Nahv, but it's all in Tasawwuf. Okay? It's all in Tasawwuf. It's by Imam Kushairi. You know Imam Kushairi, Risala Kushairiya, same author, he wrote this. So anyway, and when we teach in the Dars Nizami course and we teach Kafiya, yes, we use that to our advantage as well. But remember one thing, a lot of people make one mistake as well. They think that the principles of Nahv rule the language. Okay?
Don't they?
No. It's the language that rules the principles. You know why? Because language is sama'i. It's transmitted. Yes? The rules came afterwards. So you, if something is transmitted, you have to throw away your principle. You can't apply it there. Yes? Do you understand that? Alayhullah comes the verse of bay'ah, doesn't it? Yes? For those who take the bay'ah with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, like that. In that verse, towards the end, it says alayhullah. The principle should have been alayhillah, but it was transmitted as alayhullah. So therefore we go with alayhullah. And then your 10 recitations, many parts of the Quran that they're reciting go against principle. Yes? So remember that. Okay? The reason for that is if with sciences like this, the principles are what we call, they are not kulliya. They are not kulli, as in, then how do you translate kulli? All in, yeah. They don't encompass everything, so they can be broken. Yes? So they're not bulletproof. They are not bulletproof. And when the Nahvis and the Sarfis get stuck, yes, they'll always give one answer. Khilaf Qiyas. Yes? It's like when the Fuqaha get stuck on a matter, very different matters, but majority of the time, when they can't give an answer, somebody says, oh, but this is happening in hadith over here. Yes? Talim-e-Ummat. Yes? It's just teaching the Ummah. Talim-e-Ummat, that's it. And then you carry on, move along. Yes? So the Sarfis and Nahvis, they say khilaf Qiyas. Qiyas means principle in this. Yes? So it's against the rule, just move along. It doesn't matter, khilaf Qiyas. Or they'll say it's rare, shaz. It's just a rare occasion it happened. And just jog along, let's just not concentrate on this, just move along. So that's what they do. So remember that anyway, just something that you need to know. So Majroor does not have a munfasil. So altogether 5 then, aren't there? Okay. The one we just want to look at, and we'll do the rest of them later on, is Zamir Mansoob Munfasil. Zamir Mansoob Munfasil is that which is away from its amil. It's not joined to its amil. Its amil is with it, but it's not joined to it. Literally not joined to it. So they're not part like one word. Yes, it's separated. And it can be, it is a maf'ul bihi. What is it? A maf'ul bihi. Here in Iyaka, it is exactly that. It is mansoob munfasil. The zamir mansoob munfasil, if you want to read it, it'll go like this. Iyahu, iyahuma, iyahum, iyaka, iyakuma, sorry, I read it wrong. Iyahu, iyahuma, iyahum, iyaha, iyahuma, iyahunna, iyaka, iyakuma, iyakum, iyaki, iyakuma, iyakunna, iyaya, and iyana. Okay. So here we got iyaka, haven't we? We have iyaka, which means you, doesn't it? But zamir mansoob munfasil. See, it's separated from its amil. the fail is na'budu, it's not joined, is it? If I say na'buduka, you'll have to write the kaf close to the dal, but dal is of those words that doesn't join on to the next letter, does it? But if the dal came in the middle, like yadullu, the lam is still separate from the dal, isn't it? But it's part of the word. Yes, it is. So therefore, kaf would have been part of the word. Yes? So, but that's not the case, is it? Here we separated it and we said iyaka, it means you. Then, and it's in the state of a nasab. It's in the state of a nasab. Is Amil gave it a nasab. Yes? But it's mabni, by the way. We'll come to that. That's next week's lesson. More about mabni. Yes? It never changes. It's one of those guys who just takes it under the table. Yes? Takes the nasab on the table, puts it in his back pocket. So you never see it. Yes? He accepts the change, but doesn't show the change. Na'budu is siga wahid, siga jama mutakallim. Jama mutakallim. Now it's siga jama mutakallim and it's fail mudare musbat ma'ruf and it's from bab nasara yansuru. Abada ya'budu, ibadatan. Yes? And inside this is the zamir marfu muttasil. Zamir marfu muttasil. Okay, is zamir marfu. Yes? Which is nahnu. It's hidden inside it. Yes? So, and that's nahnu, which is hidden inside it. Nahnu, hidden inside it. And that nahnu is marfu. What is it? Marfu, and it becomes the musnad ilay. So therefore it's the file then, isn't it? So the na'budu will be the musnad, which is fail, and the nahnu zamir inside it is the musnad ilay, and that becomes the fa'il. What does na'budu mean? We worship. And then iyaka, you. The same thing with iyaka nasta'in. Iyaka, the same tarkib. So iyaka is mansoob and is maful bihi. Nasta'in is the same siga with nahnu hidden inside it, and therefore you got fail and fa'il, and then you have the maful bihi. Altogether these two sentences, what kind of sentences? Jumla fi'liya khabriya. Fi'liya khabriya. Yes? What do they mean? It means, if you translate it the other way around, that we worship you and we seek aid from you. We seek aid from you. So you got your fail, you got your fa'il, and you got your maf'ul bihi. But that translation is still incorrect. That translation is still incorrect. Why? Because if I say I worship you, I worship you. Yeah, the iyaka came first. The you came first. So why would Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say iyaka na'budu and not just na'buduka? Na'buduka, and rather than saying iyaka nasta'in, just saying nasta'inuka. There's a little principle in Arabic, and that is that ما كان حقه التأخير يفيد الحسرة. Yes? That whatever thing that you have in terms of nahab, when its place is for it to be delayed. Yes? تقديم ما كان حقه التأخير يفيد الحسرة. That to bring first that thing whose position is to be last. This gives the benefit of hasr, restriction. Yes? So we have to have a restricted meaning here somehow. So here you'll have to mean only you. Yes? So either say only you we worship or we worship only you. Both are correct. Yes? I mean, it sounds odd the other way around. Yes? Only you we worship is fine in that sense as well. But you we worship only would sound a bit odd. Yes? So only you we worship or we worship only you are both correct. Wa iyyaka nasta'in, and only you we seek help with. Yes? So here the hasr meaning will appear within this. So that is the translation. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Only you we worship and only you we seek help. We seek help. Or we seek aid, madad. Okay. Have a look at this now. The tafsir of this. First of all is that look, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has gone from speaking about himself as a third person to now second person. Yes? Yes. So it's gone from Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen by mentioning his name to Iyaka, to you. The reason is that the starting of the surah till now was news regarding Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, wasn't it? And now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and from here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala begins to show them that now you've recognized your Lord. Yes, so now you can say you. First you didn't know who your Lord was. Yes? But now He gave you a sign, He gave you attributes, now you recognize your Lord, so therefore, when you recognize your Lord, you worship Him then, don't you? Yes? So, recognition comes before worship. Recognition comes before worship. That does not mean you have to kulli chutti and say, I'm just going to say in zikr all day. Okay? It means recognize your Lord, that He's your creator at the least. Okay? Chutti for those Urdu speakers, or those non-Urdu speakers, means having a free day. Yes? That you just sit in zikr all day and say, the Ustad said, that until you don't recognize God, you can't worship Him. Yes? So I have to attain ma'rifah and become kamil in ma'rifah before I can actually read salah. It does not mean that. It just means on his basic level of realizing that Allah is your creator at the least, or whatever way. If you recognize God's mercy, then so be it. It's now your duty to worship Him. So once you've recognized His attributes, then you should worship Him. So, but once you've recognized Him, then you know who He is, don't you? Then you can say you to Him, then can't you? Yes? And this goes out to those people who will say you can't say tum to the Prophet in Urdu, or in English say you to the Prophet. Yes? If it's done with respect and within the boundaries of the language, there's nothing wrong with it. Okay? So there is nothing. Some people tu ko ja, man ko ja, and they say tum aap kahan. Yeah? And then they destroy the whole scale of the knot. Yes? Which is not good. And there's few like that, they do it, some of them do it to one of Ala Hazrat's poetry as well. So the tu, they turn into aap. But where tu fits and where aap fits, doesn't work. Yes? No, there's another one actually. There's another one. It just gone on my head. There's quite a few places Ala Hazrat used the word tu. There's nothing wrong with it. There's a poem in Arabic as well where the poet, he speaks about himself, he speaks about the Prophet, and he speaks about Allah. Yes? All in pronouns. But it starts off with he. But every time he uses he, you have to figure out he's speaking about himself, the Prophet, or Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then he moves to you. And again you have to do all that again. And then he turns to I. Yes? The whole poem is about his journey. Yes? First he was distant. Then he came to the level of you. Then was it Hallaj who said Ana al-Haq? Yes? Then he came to that level where the I. Yes? So anyway, that's a poem for you to look forward to. I'll try to find it. What's that? There's quite a few awliya who said it. They got killed for it though. Anyway, so that's that. So na'budu here means to be obedient to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yes? But it also means recognition as well. It also means here to have humility. You have humility. A question is that, and I gave you one answer before as to why that pronoun came first. So one answer was to give benefit of the restriction, that we only worship him. Another benefit is that it's habitual to the Arabs, that when they speak, we're not talking about nowadays Arabs, okay? We're talking about those eloquent Arabs that were once here on the world. Yes? It was their habit that they would first mention what is important. Yes? First mention what is important. Now, here in these two sentences, what's the most important thing in there? Worship or seeking aid? No? No? In both of those sentences, what's the most important thing? You. Isn't it? Yes? The truth is, na'budu is ambiguous. Nasta'in is ambiguous as well. How? The point here is recognition of God again. It's really putting into your heart His name, isn't it? Iyaka. You now, isn't it? We worship you. So the you came first to emphasize that your Lord is still Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, no one else. That's another reason why this was mentioned. One thing also is that the iyaka is read with a shad, isn't it? And this is the majority of the Qurra and ulama have read it with the shad in both places. But it is said that Amr bin Fa'id read it as iyaka. Iyaka. With the kasra of the hamza and the takhfif of the ya. Yes? So Ustaz Hamza, you need to stop saying to the Bawe that you need to put a shad on it. Yes? Because from this we gather that even they're reading it correct. I mean, from the 10 recitations, yes, it's literally impossible to read the Quran wrong unless you change the words. Yes? Isn't it? There's ways where you can read the Quran in a majhul manner. They do it. There's ways where they kind of, is it called imala? Yes? Yes? So they do that as well. So, it's there, isn't it? Yes. So the truth is that the better the tajweed, the more reward. Yes. But the way they're reading, they will also receive reward for it, because acts are by intentions, aren't they? Yes. So if they're sincere in reading the Quran, however they read it, they'll be rewarded for it. You forget to see the hadith where the monk struggles to recite the Quran. He receives 2 rewards because of his intention. and then he struggled. Yes. So yeah, one thing we don't need to do is I said this last time to you as well, that don't give people dementia. Yes. What dementia is, you it might not be the right illness, but people are standing in salah and alhamdu, right? And then he thinks he said it wrong. And iyaka, no, I should emphasize it. Yeah, and then get that in there somewhere. So he does that, and then they'll go back again. One kind of dementia is where they think that they haven't read it, and then they go back again and they read it all again. There's one guy, he reads in our masjid, and he reads Surah Fatiha like 7 times. And I asked him once, and he goes that, I think I made a mistake, so I'll go back again. Yes? Where has that been born from? That's been born from overemphasizing letters to beginners.
That's OCD, isn't it?
That's not OCD. That's not OCD, he's forgetting. He thinks. Yes? He thinks that he hasn't said. The point is that when you teach tajweed, you teach it best. Okay, when you're in salah, if you've read it, you've read it. Yes? Salah is not a time to practice. Yes? Practice is outside of salah. You want to take those ha's out, take them out outside of salah. While in salah is worship, you're serious. Yes? In salah, it's not time to learn. Yes? It's not study time. Yes? It's worshipping time and it's serious. So then, therefore, if you've read it, you move along. Okay? So what happens is that beginners especially, they tend to just go all out onto the makharij of the letters, and a salah that should take them a couple of minutes, spend 15 minutes trying to finish it. Yes? So it's a case of like, sometimes when you teach tajweed, it's sometimes to give that advice, yeah, that we do it this way. And for beginners, is maybe that you give them the makharij without overemphasizing them, and then as they move along and they've got used to reciting a bit, that's when you put it into them. You overemphasize. Yes? Not for those who have come to just read alif, ba, ta, sa, and they're just trying to get their reading correct. You try your best in terms of trying to get the ha or whatever. If they can't, just move along. Yes? They're going to practice anyway. They're not running away. So then you slowly are going to do it. But what a lot of teachers do is they won't let the person move from alif, ba, ta, sa until he gets it perfect. Yes? But then what happens is that becomes a bad habit. Yes? It becomes a bad habit of trying to get the ha out, and then he just struggles reading his salah. So you get a lot of people who suffer from this, what I call dementia, constantly going back. Yeah. What's that really? If you want to call it OCD, it can be OCD. But this sometimes is like waswasa. They think that they haven't. Yes? They think that they haven't. So yeah. So anyway, by this standard, iyaka is also correct. Never read as ijaka. There's no such thing on this case of this study. Okay? Unless you're from India and Pakistan. Okay? A lot of people who come from India and Pakistan for some reason say ijaka, and it's a mistake, isn't it? Major mistake, because it turns like the yang to a sheen, hasn't it? Jeen, sheen, you make our own letter. Yes? There's no such thing, but yet I've sat with a few qaris from Pakistan. I've studied to a few as well, and they have no concept of this. As in, they're like, no, we don't teach this. So it makes me think as to where they get it from. I met one qari sahab who does this, and then I met his teacher in Pakistan while I was there, and he's one of the big qaris there. I didn't study to him, I just meant to meet him, but I actually studied to his rival. Yes? Two big teachers, isn't it? Right? So while I was there, I thought I benefit. So I benefit from his rival, Qari Ajmal Sahib. Mufti Muhammad Saeed Mujaddidi, I think he's based in Newcastle now. He does the 10 Qira'at in Taraweeh. He has a very nice voice as well. That's his main student, one of his main students. So I benefiting for quite a while. So anyway, I went to meet his rival, yes, who just was in the next village. So, and the two giants in Pakistan, as in teachers, yes, maybe not in terms of going to gatherings and reciting, but as teachers, they are the biggest in Pakistan that you can get. So I went to his rival, and I just managed to ask him about this year, and he recited Surah Fatiha, yes, in front of me, not recited it to me, but just as an example for me. It'd be bad to say he recited to me. He recited it just as an example, and then I recited after him as well. But he did not do Ijaka. So I don't know where his students have caught it from as well. So a lot of his students, the other sheikhs, students are in the UK. Many of them are in the UK. But yet many of them do Ijaka. Yes. But I came to the conclusion, it's maybe those students that had done the hifz, maybe at his madrasa, they won't do it directly with him then. Yes, he only teaches the tajweed part. So they must have done hifz and spent like 6 months on the tajweed and then run off. Yes. So whereas he's got major students, and they don't do that as well. You know, great qaris, they don't do that mistake. So anyway. Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'in. So iyaka is read in this manner. So therefore, there's no mistake in the Quran like that, is there? When you read it even as iyaka. But as the majority is, it is with a shad, iyaka. Okay. Some said that, and this is Al-Fadl Al-Ruqashi's narration, and it's a very famous lugha, a dialect, and he said that it's with the fatah of the Hamza, fatah this time. So instead of iyaka, he read ayyaka, shad with the shad, okay, ayyaka. Is that how it is? Ayyaka with the shad. And then another dude came along, Abu Sawar Al-Ghanawi. He read it with the ha. Hayyaka. Yeah. And then, hiyaka is right. Hiyaka. Like, fahiyaka wal amru allazi in tawassa'at mawariduhu daqat alayka masadiru. Nasta'in was recited by Yahya bin Wasab and the great Imam Al-A'mash as Nista'in. Yes? Nista'in. I think this is Qari Abdullah's job. I think he'll have a bit of a better roadmap on this. Okay? That's his field, isn't it? It's like, that field, if you're not trained in it, it's like a jungle. Yes, the narrations and sweeping through them, there's lots of narrations, but they have like a roadmap of it, of how it fits in. So we leave it to him. I heard him once or twice of speaking about this. So he picks up a few verses of the Quran and then he goes through them, different recitations. But it shows, if you keep listening to him, then you do find a pattern of how it's done. So it just maybe memorizing the Quran first, yes, and then coming to that part. That's the standard, isn't it? Yes, that you memorize the Quran first, then he'll give you ijaza in Hafs Qira'ah, and then once you memorize the Quran properly, then you come back round again and memorize it through another recitation. Yes, and like that you go through all of them. Anyway, so this is in regards to Iyaka na'budu wa Iyaka nasta'in, that only you we worship and only you we seek help with. Now this help, yes, means madad. What does it mean? Madad. Okay. Now, question is, why didn't Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala use the word madad? Namuddu? if that's what it means. There's a slight difference between them. Yes? Meaning we're seeking help from you in matters that are beyond the control of this universe. Yes? Like what? Like asking for faith. No one can put faith in your heart other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yes? So therefore, the word nasta'een here means what? It means madad, but madad in things which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can give. And no one else can't. Intrinsically. Yes? As for things which are asbab, madad from a doctor, that's fine. The doctor saved my life. Yes? That's fine. Doctor, I need your help. That's fine. You need help with whatever. That's fine. You can do that. So therefore, this means intrinsically. Intrinsically. Okay? That in matters like faith, having faith in your heart is only something that comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, isn't it? Yes? So that's why the word nasta'een has been used in this case. Okay? So there you go. We do two sentences. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'een. Next week we'll do ihdina sirat al-mustaqim sirat al-lazina an'amta alayhim ghayr al-maghdubi alayhim walad-dallin. Yes? Inshallah.